would help to have a microphone, wouldn't it? Let's bump up the audio a little. There we go. This is Raving Rendell, and this is a quickie. I've been doing a show called Chaotic Thoughts now for about a week and a half, 2 weeks. And wanted to do this on Chaotic Thoughts, but there's actually another show getting ready to go on the stream I generally use, so I figured I'd put this to video, which makes sense given the content anyway. There is, for those of you living under rocks or not interested in gaming, a service called Twitch TV, where you can use a program like XSplit, which is what I'm using to make this. You can go and you can say, okay, I want to play this game. I want others to see me play this game. Maybe you know... Oh, my camera's tilted. Okay, there we... I was wondering why my posters in the back were at an angle. Okay, sorry about that. But let's just say, oh, I've got Earthbound. I like playing Earthbound. I think Earthbound's a great game. There's a lot of people who maybe haven't played Earthbound, and I want to show them how to play it. Okay, fine. So you go, you plug in, and you go through Twitch, as most people do. I don't, but the reason's coming up. You go through Twitch and you say, okay, here's me playing Earthbound. I want everybody to see this great game that I grew up with, and it's really fun. And it is. It's a very fun game. Here's the reason why I don't go on Twitch. Number one, there are so many people. I don't play old games like that very often. 2 reasons. Number one, I don't have a controller, so I have to use the keyboard, and using keyboards for a lot of these games is just not very easy. Number two, a lot of their, they had a drop-down menu where you can put in what you're saying. I need to get rid of the video thing. I don't like watching myself. Oh, hey, that's much better. But they have a drop-down menu where you can try filling in the name, and then when it comes up, you just add to the drop-down menu and bring it up. Some games just do not show up because they're old. Like, okay, dating myself here, there is a game that I just found on a site called myabandonware.com called Kraz. It's an ASCII game. And I grew up with it. I had a core data, which had a phenomenal speed of 8 megahertz. That was turbo. Normal speed was 4.77 megahertz. Had no RAM, no hard drive. All I had was a dual floppy disk reader and DOS. DOS was on there. I think we had DOS 2.1. So, I mean, this is going way back. I do have, what is it, DOSBox? I did find a thing called DOSBox and DOS something or other. See if I can check out my Pocky favorites here. I think I've got it on here. No, I don't. But I've got a DOS emulator now. So it's like, oh yeah, DOSBox. I've got a DOS emulator, so I can play some of these things like Telengard and Kraz. I'm looking for Planetfall, the original text adventure of Planetfall I used to like. D&D, which was a more plain ASCII version of what would become Telengard. Let's see. I'm still looking for something. I'm not sure if it was called War Wizards or Brothers or something. The story was you're a wizard, you've got your hut and you've got your cauldron, and you're in this maze. You on one side and your brother on the other, and you're good and your brother's evil. You go around this maze, you can collect wolf's bane and thyme and stuff like that. You pick up 3 ingredients, you go back to your cauldron, mix it up, create a spell, which you then launch against your brother. And the winner was whoever beat the other. It was a weird game, and nobody seems to remember it. I want to say that it was War Wizards, but that hasn't come up, and Brothers hasn't come up, so anybody knows it. I mean, it was on a disc. I can't remember. I don't think it was. I want to say I found something on abandonware called the Blue Disc. Maybe it was on one of those. The thing I don't like is nobody has downloaded them and put in the comments, which I'm actually thinking about doing on a day when I don't have anything to do. I'll just download it, run it, take a screenshot of what's on there, and say, here's what's on this disc. So I think I did get a blue disc at one point. I don't think they were floppies. I think they were hard discs, but are the 3.5 as opposed to 6-inch. It's what you call a hard disk, a rectangular disk. The floppies were the big black squares, and that's what I had for the core data. I wasn't able to use a floppy disk or a hard disk until 96. I think is when we finally got a computer that could run a hard disk. I think we still had the core data. But we got a different one, so we could have a 12K modem or 24K modem. I actually had a 56K modem, which is the fastest modem available. 90s. Was that 97? I bought it for about $80. Lightning hit the telephone wire, and within 3 days it was gone, and I was down to 2,400 baud. Anybody who bitches about 15 megs or 5 megs, 10 megs, 20 megs download speed being slow should be given 1 day's worth of use with a 2,400 baud modem. You would never hear anybody complain again. Anyway, there are a lot of games that I went on Twitch that I wanted to play that weren't there. Well, then you have to say not playing and put the name in there because they don't recognize it. The thing is, when I would play games, like I would play DCUO, I would play World of Warcraft, I would sometimes play Warcraft 3. I don't think it was into Marvel Heroes yet. I don't remember doing much with Second Life on there. But World of Warcraft, DCUO, I did every now and then. Plague Inc. when I was playing it through BlueStacks. And I think when Plague Inc. Evolved came out, I played it for a little bit. Team Fortress. I did that. I think I may have done Neverwinter, Little Inferno. You know, just basic games. My problem is when the Secret World. I did the Secret World. My problem is when I made these, I didn't get people who, 99% of the time, I didn't get anyone. Out of that 1%, I'd say 90% of that time, the people that I got, when I did get people, 9 out of 10 of them were just trolls. They come on, they say, oh, you're not doing this right. Oh, why aren't you doing it? I'm not playing the game the way you do because, number one, you may have gotten this thing when it came out. I didn't. This could be my first time playing this game. I have to learn it yet. I'm not to the point where you are saying, well, of course you're going to go down Corridor A because Corridor D is a complete circle jerk that takes you 35 minutes and brings you right back to the corner. Yeah, I don't know that yet. So it came to a point that I just didn't stream. Then I found this thing called Furstre.am, which is a streaming video site for members of the furry community, which I am. And you can stream games. Okay, so I tried it out. I've got a couple of people, Steel and what is Barry's name? Barry. Flint is a person who just came in the other day while I was playing DCUO. The Secret World I've played off and on. You know, Plague Inc. I play, and here's what I do is I will go on, like tonight, and Cards Against Humanity. We play Cards Against Humanity online. I will stream that. But I will come on, I listen to Pride 48 Radio online, which is a LGBT, rest of that acronym, radio station, which I also do a show on. Actually, two. Chaotic Ravings we do on Sundays, and Chaotic Thoughts I do in the mornings when I just have a topic in my head and I just want to kill an hour. So it's fun for me to be on there because, number one, it's a smaller community. At the most, I've seen 30 streams going at once, which is a lot for a small thing. But just about every time, there's a couple of times that I won't get anybody, but usually Steele or Barry will come in. There have been a couple of other people who pop in and out during their time. I've got about 4 or 5 regulars, and I stream Chaotic Ravings on Sunday sometimes. Sometimes I will stream Finite Exposure, which is the podcast we do on Mondays. I haven't done Chaotic Thoughts, and the reason why is Chaotic Thoughts is just me hitting a button and saying go. I don't want distractions. Ergo, I don't want anybody in the chat room offering their feedback because that's going to veer me over and I don't want to do that. I have something in mind or I've just read something and I want to comment on it. I just said that this week with the Hulk Hogan and Brock Lesnar debacle where Lesnar called him grandpa. The guy's 61 years old. Of course he's a grandpa. And if he isn't, in reality, I'm 41. I'm 40. He's 61. He could have been my dad and been 21 years old. I am 40. Subtract 18 from when the youngest age that I would hopefully be having a child. And my child could have been graduated high school already. So it is possible that Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan, could have a college-age grandchild. Does he? I don't know. I don't really give a shit about Hulk Hogan anymore. I haven't for years. But being upset because somebody calls you out that you're an old person when you're an old person, you know, and that's what I did. I talked about that. Back to Twitch, and now you can see why the show's called Chaotic Thoughts, because I don't stay on one topic very easy. Back to Twitch, I admire what they've done. They've got a great community. They've done a lot of good, I think. Yes, you know, the reason I'm talking about this is I just got done listening to the pilot episode of the Phony and Lore podcast. Son of a bitch. Now I forgot what it's called. Okay, hold on. I just put it in my feed reader too, so this at least will not be the hardest question I have to answer tonight. Don't get your hopes up. And I will put a link to them so that people who are interested can check it out. It's a very nice podcast.
My name is Mike B.A.K. Phony.
Jesus, it started right up and scared me. Okay, let's not do that again. There we go. There it is. But they were talking about Twitch and the content ID matching and all that kind of thing. So it was neat. I had not really listened because, like I said, I'm not on Twitch anymore. So I hadn't really followed it. So it was nice to hear somebody's opinion on it. It's like, okay, cool. That's nice. And that's what prompted this. So I just thought, this is Twitch. This is a video medium. I could do a chaotic raving, or chaotic thoughts. I probably will at some point. But just the initial reaction should be video. So here it is. Sorry for the crappy angle, but come on, I don't do this for a living.